All right. Hello, everyone. This is the one and only fifth technical walkthrough call, which is a part of the educational journey for the Fuel Network Attackathon, which is happening at Immunefi, which is actually happening. Guys, for those of you who missed it, today is the day. So if you missed it, go to the Immunefi Explore page, go to the Immunefi Boost page. In there, you will see an active Attackathon with Fuel Network. Oh my God, it's happening. But today, we are having a technical walkthrough call with one and only Hexens team. And today we'll be covering a list of audits and known issues of Fuel Network and Sway. And even more wonderful news. We're also joined by Adrian Hetman, who is our head of triaging at Immunefi. Yoo-hoo! Thumbs up and to us in the chat. All right. So guys, quick disclaimer, just one more reminder. Fuel Network Attackathon is the biggest Attackathon right now, and it's live. It's actually live. It's going to be live for 30 days, I think even 34 more days. So listen to our technical walkthrough call, listen to what we have prepared for you today, and then just go and do it. Just hunt for those bugs. And last but not the least, yet again, the chat is disabled for some reason, so you can go to activities, which are on the bottom right corner of your screen, and over there you have a Q&A. So if you have any questions at any point of time throughout the call, please post them there. I'll interrupt our hosts and I'll ask those questions. That being said, Adrian, Mikhail, Tigran, and Kasper, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. Lovely to be here and lovely to host all the auditors from Hexens here. So let's start with some introductions. I'm Adrian Hetman, head of the triage. You already guys know team, but you don't know our lovely guest. So let's start with Mikhail. He's the first one on my screen here. So please introduce yourself to our community.
Hello guys. So my name is Mikhail. I'm a part of Hexens, working there as a senior security researcher, doing audits, security research for Web3. And I was a lead for the audit we will discuss in this call. So in Hexens, I'm working for almost a year. So that's mostly it from my side.
Okay, great to have you here. Kasper.
Hey guys, my name is Kasper. I'm the head of audits at Hexens. I've been at Hexens for a while now, like 1.5 years. Basically just do auditing work, but I also do bug bounty on Immunefi. I've been in the bug bounty space for a while. Before that, I did Web2, and I'm still loving
it. Awesome. Great to have you here. And last but not least, Tigran, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hey all, I'm Tigran. First, thanks so much for having me here for this opportunity. So I am Tigran, a security researcher at Hexens. I've been working here more than a year. I came from traditional finances, no IT background before, but I'm in love in this sphere, so I'm gonna continue here for a long.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so the topic of today's call is a list of audits and known issues on Fuel Network and Sway. So that's why we have Hexens here. That's why we have auditors who actually audited the Fuel Network code and produced amazing looking audit reports for you guys to learn from. But we decided that learning from just written resources isn't enough. That's why we invited them here to talk about their own experience going through the whole Fuel Network code base, because as you guys know, it's huge. They also needed to tackle that problem. So we'll hear from them how they did that, what are the interesting findings from them, what did they actually found, what was the most challenging and interesting bugs on different areas of the code that they actually audited. So I will stop talking because we have better things to do right now. So I will go to one of you guys to start presenting, and let's go through the first interesting questions. Like, for example, what exactly was the scope of the audit that you guys have did for Fuel Network?
Yeah, sure. I'll take this one. So yeah, as you said, like the fuel scope is huge. They have a lot of stuff in different languages. Like it's mostly Rust. Yeah, so similar to like other auditors, like we're probably one of the many auditors that have audited like a part of fuel. We wanted to like focus more on like smart contract side. So there are Solidity smart contracts. There are some Sway smart contracts to like facilitate the bridge, like communication between fuel and L1. And yeah, they have like a couple of repositories that are mostly contracts. So this is what we focus on. And in this presentation, we want to like show our report for the fuel bridge and like our most critical findings that we found there. Actually, there were no critical findings. Like the fuel, I have to say that like the fuel code is of high quality. They are very, very well organized, and it shows like, yeah, we had no major obvious critical findings. Everything was a bit more like it took a bit more like a deep dive. And so far, we had I can share my screen. We had one high finding, then 6 mediums and a couple of lows and informational in this report. So this was the first iteration for the bridge, the one that we want to present right now. Yeah, we'll go through most of those high findings. And I think the first one will be presented by Tigran. Yeah.
Okay. But before we dive into that, I have like one question, maybe some tips that you can give to security researcher to move around fuel code base. How did you actually approach reviewing everything? Because there's definitely some methodology to the madness of going through such a large code base.
Yes, that's definitely true. I think we were kind of lucky there with the contracts. It's pretty self-contained. The thing with the bridge is it's usually very similar with other bridges, right? They have a roll-up technique that is similar to other L2s, and then same with the bridge. So the bridge supported like permissionless registration of assets, so anyone could register their assets and then bridge them to fuel. And a lot of other bridges, they work the same way. And because we have done a lot of audits for bridges, then this experience made it a lot easier to navigate this. But if you don't know, yeah, in order to start, you'd have to at least have some knowledge on like cross-chain communication and how that usually goes, so you can spot like any weird things that might lead to a bug.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And any tips for more junior SRs who might be listening and later watching on YouTube, how to pick what you should be hunting on in terms of such a large code base?
Yeah, I would. Well, in our case, yeah, I would start with like, for example, what we audited. I think if you're familiar with Solidity and contracts, then if you're familiar with Solidity, you have no trouble auditing Sway, in my opinion. Like Sway is a very nice language. It's very clear. So any smart contracts in Sway would be possible as well. But like if you want to audit more the Rust part of Fuel, like the VM or the Sway compiler, yeah, be prepared because it'll be heavy, and that will take a lot more determination.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and I want to add, yeah, even so, like Solidity and Sway, they're similar, but there are differences in both languages. So as you will see in the report, we tackled the difference between Sway and Solidity and found bugs in this stuff mostly. So I think it's a good point to look for bugs.
Yep.
Okay. So are there any questions regarding this? from the community before we dive into each of major high and medium issues that you want to present? Let's wait for any questions in the Q&A or chat. And for those who just joined, if you want to ask a question, please, on the bottom right corner, you have activities tab. There's like this triangle, square, and circle. You tap there, go to the Q&A, and you can ask a question. So if you, at any point of the time, have any questions, please use that. And we actually see our first question. Which existing bridging system is this one the most similar to?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's I would say that the mechanism itself kind of reminded me of like the optimism bridge. And I think they also support permissionless bridging. So yeah, I would say that one. Well, Mikhail, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Kasper. I think they have similarities.
Yeah. Yeah, if you remember with the optimism one, it's a quite simple one, so elegant and supports like permissionless bridging.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. The first question from the audience, and it was a really good one. Okay, keep them coming. But I don't want you guys stopping from presenting all the interesting findings that we actually have found. So let's start with that.
Yep. Tigran?
Right. Yeah, let me share my screen.
I'll stop mine.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, let me start with the first high one. By the way, this was first time for me to do a non-solidity code. Yeah, it was a great experience. Now I am doing the Rust audits as well. So as Kasper said, this is the bridge, and we need to first check all the communications are correctly implemented or not. So in this issue, the Sway bridge contract. Let me start from here. So we have the Fuel ERC20 gateway v4 contract in the layer 1 part, and we have a main.sway contract, which is in the Sway language in the fuels part. Yeah. So the Sway bridge contract uses the same number of decimals for all bridge tokens, which they determine by the decimals parameter, which is set to 9 decimals. We can see it here, the code. The decimals were 9, and in the contrast with the Fuel gateway on Ethereum, which allows us to bridge any tokens by default, as the whitelist required state variable is set to false. So tokens bridged through this gateway may have different decimals. Yeah, we bring an example here with WETH and USDC. They have 18 and 6 decimals. So the thing is, when a token is bridged from Ethereum to Fuel, a new sub ID is generated. It is shown here in the codes. It is generated by the Sway bridge contract based on the token's address on Ethereum. And then that amount was being minted. So here, as we say, in case we bridge WETH and USDC tokens, they will all have the same 9 decimals in the Sway part. So yeah, here is the adjust decimals functions, which is adjusting the decimals. So in case we have WETH token, it will adjust the decimals. So it will just cut the last 9 decimals and we'll have 9 decimals token in the sway part, but in case of USDC, which has 6 decimals, in the sway part, it will be like 1,000 times a smaller amount than you initially bridged. So when bridging the USDC to the sway, you will have 1,000 times less amount in the fuel layer. So the remediation was to modify the send metadata function in the fuel gateway. To include the tokens decimals when passing metadata to the sway bridge on the fuel chain. So the sway bridge should adjust minted amounts based on the tokens decimals from metadata. Here also you can find the lines of codes. Here when we send that message, there is no information about how many decimals your token have. So the fuel side is taking everything as 9 decimals tokens. So yeah, this one was the first issue, and second one I wanted to talk about is this one. Funds can get stuck because of the block header recommitting. This is in the solidity part. So when committing a block header, the committer role here we have the function commit, which is callable only by committer role owner. So a committer role owner giving block hash and commit height, and it is writing on the storage that information. So to access messages generated within the fuel blockchains, users are required to call relay message function. This function includes check to for finalized. Here it is. It is ensuring that a specified period of time has passed after the block header commitment. But in our case, in the commit function, there were no check of that time to finalize. So it was leading to an issue where block hash and timestamp could be overwritten. So in this case, it can result when user funds becoming inaccessible until another period has elapsed. So here the recommendation was to add that check in the commit function. So yeah, and this one also is fixed. I guess
I have a question regarding the first high finding. Did you notice that discrepancy in decimal values only for USDC or all the other possible ERC20 tokens?
No, all the possible ERC tokens.
Okay.
The thing is that, yeah, the sway part is taking only 9 decimals tokens, yeah? But in the Ethereum part, you can send any token you wish, yeah? It was the example, yeah, with the WET and USDC. So in case of your token you are sending to fuel side has more than 9 decimals, it is just cutting the last decimals to make it 9 decimals. So the user losing that cutted amount, yeah? So in case of your decimals are less than 9 decimals, this is leading for users to having minted less tokens that you initially bridged, yeah, let's say.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So a note to the community, always look for differences between Solidity and Sway, EVM and Fuel VM, just to possibly find such issues. And really cool finding, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to note that it's just high, not critical, because there are no loss of funds, because you can bridge back from fuel to Ethereum and get your amount of USDC, for example. So no loss, but on fuel network, you will see that your balance is 1,000 times lower than should be.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, the thing is that you should provide the fuel side, how many decimals have your token which you want to mint, and the fuel side can rearrange their decimals as per yours. Great, thank you.
Cool. Next one is for me. This one is a small one. It's a very popular one, almost in every audit. We see the field transfer tokens. Yeah. So I do think for this audit, we did want to report it and give it a medium severity, because it was not documented at all. So we went through the field documentation. There was nothing about field transfer tokens. And this is a bridge that supports any kind of token. So there was permissionless registration of your own token. So there's no whitelist, or like they cannot figure out whether something is field transfer and then not registered. So that's why we did think it was important to include this. And indeed, the bridge does not support this. If you use a field transfer token, it will use the amount, and it will just simply use a safe transfer from. And so if there is a fee, it will get lost. You would still get the amount back, but the amount would never actually make it into the contract. So we just as a remediation, we propose to use the balance before and after to correctly get the amount that was sent to the contract, and then use that to calculate the amount for the user. This was still acknowledged, so this is a known issue. Might be important to know. This should be documented now. Also for the Attackathon, if this gets reported, this will probably be rejected as well as a known issue. It was acknowledged, but as for now, it won't be fixed.
Okay, and this won't be fixed, right? Did I heard that correctly?
Sorry, come again?
Did you say that this won't get fixed?
As of right now, yeah. In the future, it might be, but as of right now, in the first version, it won't be.
Okay. Now, yeah, I mean, regarding fee on transfer tokens, this is very common in different audit reports, because many people are not thinking about this, or maybe just dismissing such tokens. Yeah,
totally agree. Yeah. Right. Next one is from Mikhail.
Yeah. I need to share my screen, but it's not working. Wait a second.
Do you want me to share the report, or do you have the code?
Yeah. Please, Kasper, share.
Okay.
Sorry, Mikhail, I missed it. Can you share your screen in terms of functionality, or? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not able to share. It's just gray.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
First issue is 21, right?
Yeah, we can start in sequential order from fuel 16.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kasper.
Yeah.
So what's going here? So Solidity, fuel bridge, and sway bridge on fuel have different message encoding. Solidity bridge puts bytes of data field in the encoded deposit message as the last element, as you can see. whereas Sway breach expects decimals on that precise position. And yeah, so it's this discrepancies can cause problems. But however, at the time of the audit, Sway breach did not utilize decimals in the code, so only a decoding routine existed without any usage. And that's why we marked this finding as having medium severity only. Yeah, but it was fixed by the field team. They aligned this encoding and decoding also by passing decimals in the deposit message. Yeah, next one is 19.
Okay, and
I think
before we move on, let me just re-ask if community has any questions regarding the current findings or general about the audit approach of Hexens to finding different issues. Anything that you actually want to learn from them that will help you later find bugs on your own. This is your unique opportunity to do this live on a call. So if you have any questions, please ask them in that Q&A section, or if by some sheer luck you can actually use the in chat, then please do that. And team, do we have, by the way, any questions asked through Discord?
We actually have one from Wizard. How long was Hexens engagement with Fuel code-based audits? I assume this is about like how long did you do the audit, right? Just to
yeah, if I'm talking about this one, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Then let's continue.
Let's move on. Yeah, number 16. Or 21, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So here, what happens? So when bridging tokens to Fuel from Ethereum, so on Fuel, it has a UTXO model. So UTXO is created for the transaction predicate. So what happens? Tokens are transferred to the predicate, and it could be spent by anyone if the predicate evaluates to true. Yeah, so it could be spent with the help of a so-called transaction script that's a part of the Fuel bridge. And transaction script is written in assembly and is responsible for spending this UTXO by transferring tokens you are bridging, including base tokens, to the Fuel bridge contract. And as could be seen, it makes a low-level call to the Sway bridge contract with some amount of base tokens inside the reg underscore message underscore amount parameter. But Sway bridge contract was lacking the logic to additionally transfer base tokens to the recipient along with bridging tokens. So literally, base tokens are trapped inside Sway bridge. Nevertheless, we mark this issue as medium severity because Solidity breach on Ethereum at the time lacked the ability to send Ether along with bridging tokens. So at the time, this feature was implemented partially only on the Fuel bridge side. Yeah. Yeah, and it has an acknowledged state. So Fuel team said that they do not want to support bridging of base tokens along with main tokens.
Okay, interesting. We have a question. I'm gonna read that out loud. Sorry, I was late to this, but how did you approach the code base? Like, what were your first thoughts and notes? How did you get an overview?
So answering the question, we extensively looked at the documentation that Fuel team shared, and also they had well-documented code with comments. It also helped, and good test cases that also helped a lot to approach the audit.
Okay. Next question. Is the message portal and the bridge in particular similar to the layer 0 implementations?
Could you repeat?
Yeah, the next question is the message portal and the bridge in particular similar to the layer 0 implementations?
I think no, they're completely different. Yeah, so answering shortly, yeah.
Yeah. Just to also add to this, if you joined later, previously, Kasper was saying that Fuel Network Bridge is mostly similar to Optimus Bridge. So if you want to look for something that wasn't exactly working in Optimus, or what maybe was reported to Optimus Bridge, maybe it's also worth trying to find similar issues or trying to look into the logic of that, where the issues were found in Optimus Bridge, in Fuel Network Bridge. Okay, that's all the questions, I believe. Yes, that's all the questions that we have for now. Okay.
And we have one more, number 16.
Wait.
It's an interesting one. Yeah.
We did 16, right?
No, 19. Oh, no. Yeah, we did 16. We need 19. Yeah.
19.
Right.
Oh, why not?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is kind of interesting. It's a subtle bug and easy to miss. So what happens here? So it was possible to send metadata for a token through the bridge, and metadata message included message type of metadata, and message type is in enum. And in Solidity, it's get encoded as 1 byte when encoded with encoded packet. However, the Sway bridge anticipated full 256-bit value and gets the last byte of it. But it gets only 8-bit value, so the metadata message is skewed, and it wasn't possible to reconstruct the metadata on Fuel for the token. Yeah, again, we assigned medium severity since it affects only metadata, including name and symbol of the token, so funds are not blocked in any way. And the Fuel team fixed it, yeah.
Okay. Actually, I have another question. Like in general, generally, how did you approach the code base? I mean, have you used any tools that help you go through the code base, like any static analyzers or something like that, or fuzzing?
Yeah, actually not. So we prefer to use manual analysis. Yeah, with Visual Code and with the minimum amount of plugins.
Okay, cool.
And same here.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off, gents. Just saw a question from Pingolin. Did you answer that, Adrian? Is the message portal and the bridge in particular similar to the layer 0 implementations?
Yes, we did. And the short answer was no.
Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to mark it as resolved. All right. And thank you for your comment, Jessica. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Oh, there is a question, actually. Was there any particular piece of code where you think it can still be hiding something particularly difficult to go with manual analysis, maybe?
Probably, yeah. I think there is such possibility in every code base. Yeah.
Okay. Let me maybe rephrase that question. If you would have another 3 weeks to audit the code, which would be the areas that you would focus on?
Yeah, probably maybe not this one, or maybe another code base, because bridge contract was quite very compact, I should say. Yeah, I think
Okay.
it was enough 3 weeks to analyze it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, good.
For myself, I would look at the VM probably.
Yeah, actually, thank you, Kasper, because that was my next question. I mean, like follow-up question. Which different part of the code you would be looking at? Because as you said, that bridge is like was quite compact, so 3 weeks was quite enough. So what else you would actually be turning your eyes into?
Yeah, if I had a lot of time to look into that, I would look into the VM, I think, because that just really interests me. It's more like a personal interest.
Okay.
And if you like to answer the question a bit more, like what to focus on now, if you want to look at the bridge, yeah, I think one of the things like might be to look at differences between fuel and like Ethereum, so the fuel VM and the EVM. You know, like is there anything that is unexpected that might make something that like looks like it works, but it's you forget like one property that is different on fuel, and then that might lead to some unexpected behavior, something like that.
Yeah, and that's a really great point. And for everyone listening, we actually have like a Twitter thread explaining all the differences between, at least major differences between EVM and fuel itself. So we'll try to find that Twitter thread and post it here in the chat, but you can find it on our Immunefi Twitter. I mean, I should say X page, but yeah. Okay, thank you for all the answers, and let's please continue.
I
think that was last one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was all max high and mediums we wanted to share.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Then I'm turning into community. Is there anything that you would like to actually know from Hexens here? Anything that you want to ask? Anything that they actually have found that you find really interesting? For me, for example, the high issue was interesting one because recently, I mean, over the weekend, I was at the WorkOn conference and I was giving a talk regarding different war room stories, and one of them was the Moonbeam situation, which we already have a bug fix for. And one of the issues there was regarding Frontier library, which also was doing, and the issue was about I forgot the English word for this. Basically, they were doing a conversion from 256 bytes to 128, and the decimal issue seemed similar. Yeah.
You mean the one with message failure, right?
Yes.
From what was his name?
Pauline Dodiv.
Yes, that one. Yeah, I love the finding. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like things that are super unexpected. You know, like if you send max UINs in a message, then suddenly it works on the other chain, something like that. That's unexpected.
Yeah, that's why finding those differences, like something like in the case like of ERC, okay, something has 6 decimals on Ethereum, but suddenly has 9 decimals on fuel. What may be consequences of that? And if you find many different scenarios like that, you may end up actually finding some vulnerability. So it's something worth actually checking. That's why the Ethereum versus compared to fuel Twitter thread is important one to go and study. And also we have many different documentation regarding diving into the sway, how fuel VM works, and trying and comparing that to your knowledge about Ethereum. Okay, we have a question from the audience. Was the sway compiler in scope in the Hexens audit, and were any bugs found in it?
Nope.
No.
No, that's no.
Okay, the answer is no. Okay. Actually, let me use also this time to share a screen. Okay, so this is your lovely view of Immunefi, and if you click on the Fuel Attackathon view now, go to the Learn. This is your Bible for Fuel Network. You have a calendar for different technical walkthroughs, and also everything will be posted later on YouTube, but you have your all Fuel Network basics. How does it work? How does it actually compare versus Ethereum? This is really important one, as we just discussed. Some advanced topics for that. Fuel VM specifications, maybe compare that to EVM specification. Maybe you will find some discrepancies there. Sway language for any Solidity hackers there. This is also gonna be interesting. How Sway actually is different from the Solidity itself. What Solidity does that Sway doesn't, and vice versa. Those everything is described here. And if you actually will find something that may just eat your brain in that funny way, that you know that you may be close to finding something interesting, trust your instinct and dig deeper. There is plenty of space for everyone actually to search for different bugs. Everyone specializes in something different, and even if something was checked by someone else, that doesn't mean that you cannot find anything interesting there, because there may be some interesting findings yet to be reported. So remember about this. Be curious about everything, check everything, and remember to always write a POC, because POC will not only help you to determine if the bug found is actually a bug, or maybe something that should be working as expected, but also if you actually have found a bug, it will also help you get that bug later processed by triaging, and also later by Fuel Network. Okay, anything, guys, that you want to add from yourself? As I see we don't have any more questions, so any closing remarks from you?
No, I just want to say good luck.
Yeah, good luck to the participants. It's a great chance to learn Rust's way.
Yeah.
With me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm joining to Kasper and Tigran. Yeah, so good luck.
Yeah, don't miss the opportunity. Sure.
Yeah. And remember, even if you spend time and if you think that you walk away with nothing, that's not true. What you will walk away is with a knowledge. And that knowledge can be reused on different programs, on different boosts, on different attackathons. So sharpen your axes to cut down that tree, maybe this one or maybe another one, but definitely just dig deeper. If you think that you dig everything that you could, think twice. Maybe there's another angle that you can attack something.
Wise words, Adrian. Very wise words.
That's why I'm growing a beard.
Right.
And in 2 years, if that beard is gonna be like this, I'm gonna move to Tibet.
Yeah, and you're gonna become Gandalf. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you everyone for this technical walkthrough call. We actually had a lot of people today, so this is amazing. I think we reached like 30% participants or something. That's terrific. Guys, once again, good luck everyone. Attackathon has started. Yeah, honestly, good luck.
Yeah, and to spread a little bit of FOMO, people already started reporting some issues.
Right. Yeah. A bunch, right, Adrian?
Yeah. I mean, I cannot tell more, but people are doing some work. They're reporting something.
We just
Why don't you? You have no excuses.
Stay tuned, as we have one more technical review call left, which will take place on June 19th, so just the day after tomorrow. and it will be dedicated to Sway Analyzer, and this will be the last technical walkthrough in our technical walkthrough series calls. So stay tuned for the announcement, and the recording of this call should be posted by the end of this day. So this will be shared in our Discord. That being said, guys, thank you everyone, and yeah, see ya.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.